you.
I
You
understand.
will be protected by my child.
What is love to you though? Like, see how she cleared that? You see how she cleared that? That's love. That's Eugene love. Hold on, wait, don't do anything.
Okay, fine. You got this.
Oh,
Oh, disgusting. These people ain't even see you.
yeah, so just hit 8.
Well done, I am too.
Nice. That was nice. She cleared that in one shot, eh?
She did.
She's awesome. I love that for her. So, Cece, what is love to you? What makes you feel love? And don't say child.
Would not say that.
Don't say child. What is no? But honestly, if child is love to you, then I'm not gonna bully you for
This
that.
conversation is over because I probably have the most jaded opinion on what love is.
That's fine.
But no, child is not love. Child is strange. But I mean, he does love his family though.
He does love his family, actually. People always think that he's heartless. I mean, he is,
Right?
but
Yeah, he's a bastard, but I mean, his blood is everything.
it is. He would do
Very-
anything for his family. So what do you define as love for you? What are some of the things that you consider love when you encounter it? Like, and I don't mean romantic love because love goes beyond romance.
This is true. The thing is that what I see love manifesting itself as is that an explicit need to care for the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the right word to say. Is that the right word? I have no idea. It's late in the afternoon and I don't have a lot of brain cells left in the week on a Friday, so forgive me.
That's fine.
But, like I say, human nature, as far as I've seen, is the desire to work with the people around them for their own survival.
Yeah. And
To me,
not just tolerating them in need,
love,
but a genuine want to work
yeah,
towards things, right?
yes.
Okay, yeah, that is a form of love, I believe.
Love seems to be the motivating factor in that sense. Like it's like a reward. Like
Love and robots.
the comfort and satisfaction that you get from helping someone manifests itself into what we could call love.
I know
What we
you.
feel is love, it's like a reward.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I think it is, at least. Like, you'll feel it because you feel good helping and protecting the people around you.
Okay, so you say that love manifests for you in the form of helping people, and the joy of helping people is, or the joy of wanting to help others is love.
Yep.
I think that's fantastic though, because I feel like in society that's what we lack, right? That genuine need to help and that genuine want to actually show the people around us that we care. And that's gonna hit me and I'm gonna get launched. Oh, I lied.
In a weird way, I don't think we lack it.
You don't think the
We
world
just
lacks
have
love?
They have the capacity for it. More people than you think have the capacity for the love. The problem is that love isn't profitable.
Right, okay. It's easier in this case. I know exactly what you mean. It's easier to be mean is the mentality of so many people these days, right?
It's true, and we're taught to be individualistic about how we approach life. Because as an individual, we're easy to take advantage of.
Right.
It's harder to take advantage of a group than it is to take advantage
Of
of
an individual,
one
right.
person.
So in essence,
So-
I guess you can safely say that definition of love to you these days and in this society is often seen as a weakness, which is kindness.
Yes.
I hear you.
And the
Okay.
there's a particular word for it where it is just a selfless sort of giving. We're taught that, if our giving isn't compensated monetarily in
Yeah.
a way, like what's the point, right?
Give love in order to
Whereas,
gain.
yeah, give
Okay.
love to gain, whereas, sometimes I just enjoy helping somebody. Things like that is the reason why, like, on the internet, for instance, the reason why a lot of things are still free is just for the love of it. People love creating, and people who, you know, they love to see that what they've created helps. They don't need money for it.
They just need to know that it's helping somebody live an
Yeah.
easier moment.
Like the simplest example, you are familiar with the software that condenses files, WinRAR, right?
Yes,
That's free.
it is.
Literally nobody they ask you if you'd like to donate
Yeah.
for the sake of maintaining the program, but you don't have to. And there's tons of things, and in a way you could say that's love for people, love to help.
I
I
understand what
like
you're
that.
saying. It is, and to me, I feel like the simplest acts are love. I feel
I think,
I'm not that I'm downplaying grand gestures because sometimes people do need grand gestures, especially
yeah,
if it's gonna be like,
I,
how some people say they have a love language.
yeah,
I feel like some people genuinely have that need for like grand gestures, but there are also people who take pleasure in the smallest of things. And so
true.
to me personally, what I think love is understanding boundary. That's
That's also
that's
a form of love.
that's very big for me. So I feel like when somebody understands my boundaries and actively keeps that respect for it, I feel like I can trust you, and that mutual love is there. Quinn just
I like it.
spoke to me, and I have no idea what he wants. So that's it.
Can they talk to you while I'm here?
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever it is. Well, I mean, you're in the cutscene.
I am minding your business.
All up in my
Hello.
business.
This is about me
No, we
now.
don't. We don't have to walk that far. With regard to love,
Okay. Yes.
like, so we've talked about loving others, and we've talked about finding love from others, and what we consider love, right? But love of self. And I know it's a touchy topic for the both of us. I think,
The thing was is that how I don't know if to say I struggled with that sort of thing, loving oneself.
yeah.
I mean, I still kind of do.
Oh, I
I try
know.
my best not to
Uh,
indulge in self-destructive behaviors to the best of my abilities, but I still find myself doing it.
yeah. But I think that, okay, but I think that even you understanding that you engage in self-destructive activity, right? And then you now making the conscious decision to work on not doing self-destructive activities, that is a form of self-love.
Yes,
And
it is.
and
It
then
is.
yeah, so kudos to you. Self-love, I think, is something that impacts people. People say you can't love somebody without loving yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So I
Yeah.
I used to believe I used to be hell bent on believing that wasn't true.
Mhm.
And while I do understand that sometimes uh it can differ. So for some people, maybe it's easier to love others than love yourself. But from what I've learned in recent times, is that
Mhm.
if you, and this is from experience, honestly, no, I'm just gonna make a stand next to you because this is where the flower was. Yeah, what I've learned in recent times, honestly, is that loving others and not loving yourself, it only lasts so long. And I feel that the lack of love for self breeds or bonds so many internal and external issues, because it leads to anxiety, and then anxiety leads to distress, and distress leads to that lack of communication with whomever you decide to initially entertain the concept of love, right? And so I believe that the two are dependent on each other. So my thing is, how do you work on self-love for you personally? Like, what are some of the things that you do?
I mean, that sounds entirely full of stereotypical information, but that kind of self-love is manifests itself in the form of self-care.
Yeah,
You gotta
no.
care about yourself just to a certain
Sure.
extent. If you don't, then you'll deteriorate. And the more you deteriorate, the more you don't like yourself.
Where have you gone? Are you in the tree? Okay. Oh, the moon looks absolutely beautiful from here.
You can see the moon.
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm standing.
Ooh.
That looks nice. That looks, I guess you can say, lovely. No, but you're very correct in what you've just said. I think um I think a lot of toxicity is born from a lack of self-love. Because then if you don't know how to properly treat yourself, then how are you gonna properly treat somebody else? You know how my mom always says, um when pretend you're, well, for me, because sometimes my room is really messy, right? Or sometimes I may do something at home that I wouldn't do outside. She was like, sometimes you just need to, like, you wouldn't do that outside. Like, if you wouldn't do that if you were at somebody else's house.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I'm thinking about how sometimes we treat ourselves so poorly, and then when you think about that applied to another human being, like, you wouldn't do that to somebody else.
That's so true.
So I think that we need to give ourselves more credit and more love in that regard. And I feel that that's one of the steps in essentially making today, tomorrow, and the day after that much more comfortable for everyone to live in. Can you imagine if we all loved each other? I don't mean to sound like a kumbaya kind of whole hands kind of thing, but can you imagine, like, if we all if we all generated selflessness, and kindness was just as simple as breathing?
It's true. It would be
Theoretically, of course, but this,
an easier life.
yeah.
But definitely, well, part of what makes life and its struggles interesting for our omnipresent watchers is the struggle.
Of course, yeah. But
Yeah, between people whose ideas of what love and caring is different,
if everything was
or
perfect,
some people's lack thereof.
yeah, if everything was perfect, then I feel we would have no opinion. And opinions are valid, and opinions are what essentially drive us to closer to truth, right? Because opinions lead to studying and experimentation and whatnot. But I just feel like we need to love ourselves more and love each other more.
Yeah,
I feel like
I mean,
that's
things would be a lot nicer if, 'cause there's so much against us to deal with. It's kind of sucks that,
there's so much hate.
one of the major, yeah,
There's way too much hate, and for the stupidest things.
is
The stupidest things. Things that should not even be bothering you, bother you, and so it leads to hate. And that's honestly very crazy to me. Taking my Avila 50/50.
Nice.
She's in her grave. Like
Really?
no one can enter it. Like I'll show you off recording. Yes. So to recap, your definition of love is that genuine
Yes.
want to help. My definition of love is respecting boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, my definition of love is more than that, and I'm sure your definition of love is more than that genuine willingness to help. But just for the moment, that's our two main points of the definition of our love. And again, love, that definition would vary for many. I know, and not to be religious or anything, but I really like the Bible's definition of love, the patient, kind. Love is patient, love is kind.
Definition
That
of
whole.
love in the Bible.
Yeah, there is. You didn't know?
No, because I don't
You
read
don't
it.
read it. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah,
I got into the Bible fandom.
the definition of love is the entire thing, and you want me to read it to you?
Sure, why not? Let's get religious.
Let's get religious. So the definition of love in the Bible, right? It is
Bible. What does the Bible say?
the Bible. According to Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. That is the definition of love according to the Bible. Which is good advice, actually. Like, I feel like you don't have to be religious to follow that, because it's actually solid advice. Essentially, if you love someone, you tell them the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely love. The fact that you need to be patient is also very valid. I feel like true patience and true love can really only be achieved if they correlate and they work together. So yeah, in that essence, that is. I always love that definition of love. We're just beating up this guy, huh? While talking about love.
Yeah, and he hasn't given me anything.
Because he doesn't love you. You have to be patient. You gotta. You gotta. I got a lot of things. I got a faint. Oh God, you hear my cat meowing in the background? Jesus, that's a sign to wrap up. Clearly, you're so cute with your tail. So as we wrap up this episode 5 of Motivational Teyvat, or should I say episode 5.1, because I did when the audio wasn't working on one of my others, I just did a quick daily musings thing, but it ended up being almost as long as an episode. But yes, as we wrap up, I really need to say thank you again for being so patient with me and actually sticking around to record these, because this isn't our first time recording one of these. And I'm absolutely shaking in my boots to check the recording, because it's a chance that it may not work. But it's fine. It's fine.
Aside from that one little hiccup, but
we should be. I really hope. I believe in this. I believe that the system loves me. But I am very thankful for your patience and your willingness to do this with me. Because I love you.
You, my friend, my friend.
Okay, so usually what happens is I ask if you'd like to leave any good advice or anything motivational really to end us off on this lovely scenery. Mahjong, this isn't really the best. This is honestly, this is not the most motivational place to end off.
It was motivational once to 3 individuals.
It is, you know, and you know what? Osmanthus wine still tastes the same.
Yeah.
So that's important. So please grace us with your wisdom.
Put on the spot here like Gora usually is, but I don't know. Care about your people. Be loved. Be great.
Stay
And don't
hydrated.
beat yourself up. Oh, absolutely.
Love yourself. You know what? Remember? Isn't that
I love Eric.
love yourself? All you need is love, according to the Beatles. And they were right most of the time. Woo. But that is it for Motivational Teyvat. This has been Renee and Sissy. But you can only call her Sissy if she loves you. We will see you you peoples that are watching us next week. So thank you. Please remember to like and subscribe. And bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Look at this. Look at the violence. Look at this. Look at this violence. She's gonna start tossing bombs again. I can't believe this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Every time I think that you people are going to behave, no, it never happens. If it's not jumping off cliffs,
Yeah,
if it's not, oh, there we go. Oh my god, this is a good time for you. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Killing myself.
Why?
It's funny.
You understand this is a motivational series, right?
Have you started it yet?
Yes, we're recording.
What? Okay, well, killing yourself is bad. Don't do it.
Oh my god.
Motivation.
Oh my god. Let me just.
You
Oh my god.
Wow.
I can't believe.
Okay, you can delete all of that.